you do to actually combat global warming, if not by changing your own production patterns or consumption patterns?
And just outside of, what can you do outside of the international community? What can you do as opposed to getting just help from this country?
I guess the first thing that comes up in my mind is education. Since there's a growing middle class population in the developing nations, like where my company is located at, I believe educating the young generation to be more aware of these global issues will really help future scientists and raise awareness in the community as a whole of these issues, and that we need to come up with a solution. So I believe education is one of the solutions.
Yeah, on a more general note, I think just raising awareness about global warming would help a lot too. Just lower the amount of consumptions, I guess.
But other than that, since, as our description to you guys mentioned earlier, since our company and country as a whole depend so much on coal, there's nothing we can really do about it right now in our own strength. We really do need help from international organizations and industrialized countries.
And did you have any countries in mind that you guys think you resemble?
China and India.
Yeah, China especially.
And this, what trades do you think fit into this category besides coal that you guys, countries that rely on one or two products but got other main exports and what they need for?
You mean other than coal relying stuff?
Right.
I guess, for example, for India, it's technology. There's a huge, I guess, brain resource. That's also a huge.
What I'm just trying to get at is that
Okay.
there's a lot of countries that rely on just one or two exports, and so you could look to them for solutions that they have. Some countries rely only on the export of mineral resources, diamonds, gold, copper. And so what have they done? What has South Africa done? What have these countries that also have the same characteristics of a rich and poor, what have they done? Or what will they do? What could they do to mitigate climate change?
Maybe create a more favorable balance of trade and set high tariffs on imports from other countries so that they'll all have to buy from their own country. That would support the economy a little bit more, if that's what you mean.
So really quick, my name's Catherine. I came in late. I work in the library downstairs. But I do have a question for you, and also a whole bunch of statements. So when you gave your presentation, it seemed a lot like you were focusing on reasons why you couldn't be proactive. But I think the point of the exercise is I would like to see you be a bit more proactive in the ideas that a company like this in a country like this could, I guess, institute. So, for example, you said that you're waiting for foreign countries and richer countries to sort of lead the way. But as a developing country, you do have a lot of power in, I guess, the choices that you make in terms of, if you said, I would like to become a greener country, then that sort of shows the rest of the world that it's something that's really worth doing. Because right now, if you listen to the news, there are a lot of people right now blaming China for pollution and sort of not really thinking about what we're doing in terms of pollution in the U.S. So that was one thing. And then the other thing is that you were really interested in seeing or really interested in coordinating international aid for your country in terms of development and technology and things like that. And so I'd like to hear more about what you would do in order to get that sort of aid coming in, instead of saying, oh, we'd like some help, but maybe how you would go about getting that help.
The reason why we were so vague was because when I was doing my own research, I read several news on recent talks with China, India, and developing countries. along with G8 and industrialized nations. And as you said, they blamed on China. Oh, you're coming close to U.S. neck to neck on carbon emissions, but why aren't you doing anything? And and in the news it said, although China and India acknowledged this carbon emissions, high carbon emissions rate, they were all very vague. They said, but we can't curb this because we don't want, we're scared that this will slow down our economy. And they're all just backing down, and they're saying industrialized countries should come in to help. So when I was reading the news, I couldn't see any proactive stance on that issue. That's why we were being vague, but I guess we could have done something else.
Yeah, I think that expressing our want to improve the global warming status, by joining greener effect treaties, international, like the Kyoto or yeah, other things like that, just promoting our awareness, basically.
Yeah, I think with that, the only thing is, I think this was a very difficult one because a lot of your policies came from the state level, but the script or the thing was a company owner. And of course, it's difficult as a company owner to sort of say no to money and then also no to the country because the country's relying on you, so it's a very difficult one to deal with.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten that too, and when I realized that you're a company owner and expect to be a pioneer, it seemed much harder.
Yeah.
But you gave a really good view of all of the things that people have been saying in regards to countries like this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.